Karen swapped real flowers with plastic, got arrested for vendor fraud and theft. Have you ever wondered how far someone would go to scam a hardworking vendor? In the heart of Willow Creek's bustling farmers market, where the scent of fresh roses and lavender filled the air, a shocking betrayal unfolded. Marissa Kent, a woman known for her flashy designer bags and sharp tongue, strutted through the stalls like she owned the place. Her target? Elena's Flower Haven, a beloved stand run by Elena Morales, a single mother who poured her soul into every bouquet. Marissa's plan was as bold as it was heartless. Swap Elena's vibrant, hand-grown flowers with cheap plastic knockoffs she'd bought online, then sell the real ones for profit at a rival market across town. But greed has a way of blooming into disaster. Marissa's scheme wasn't born in a vacuum. For weeks, she'd been lurking at the market, eyeing Elena's stall with envy. Elena's flowers weren't just plants, they were art. Each petal a testament to her late father's legacy as a botanist. Customers raved about her roses, their velvety texture and rich fragrance unmatched. Marissa, a self-proclaimed entrepreneur with a failing online boutique, saw dollar signs. She'd overheard Elena mention a big order for a wedding that weekend, hundreds of dollars worth of blooms. That's when the idea struck. If she could replace Elena's stock with fakes, she could pocket the real flowers and sell them to a shady vendor she'd met on Craigslist. No one would notice, she thought. After all, who really inspects flowers that closely? The plan kicked into gear on a crisp Saturday morning. Marissa arrived early, her oversized tote bag stuffed with plastic flowers that looked convincing from a distance, but felt like dollar store trash up close. She waited until Elena was distracted, helping a customer choose peonies for an anniversary. With a quick glance around, Marissa slipped behind the stall and began her swap. Real roses, tulips, and lilies went into her bag. Plastic imposters took their place, arranged sloppily in Elena's vases. Her heart raced, but her smirk grew. She was halfway done when a voice stopped her cold. "What are you doing back there?" It was Jamie, a teenage volunteer who helped Elena on weekends. Marissa froze, then spun around with a saccharine smile. "Oh, just admiring these beauties. I'll take a dozen roses, please." Jamie narrowed his eyes but said nothing, returning to his task of sweeping petals off the ground. Marissa thought she'd dodged a bullet, but Jamie's suspicion lingered. He'd noticed something off. The roses Marissa had been handling looked too shiny, too perfect. He whispered to Elena, who brushed it off at first. "She's just a picky customer," Elena said, her focus on the wedding order. But Jamie wasn't convinced. He kept an eye on Marissa as she paid for her roses and sauntered off, her tote bag bulging. That's when the twist came. Jamie wasn't just a volunteer. He was Elena's nephew, and he'd grown up learning about flowers from his grandfather. He knew the difference between a real bloom and a fake one. Quietly, he plucked one of the suspicious roses from a vase and crushed it in his hand. The plastic crinkled, confirming his fears. "Tia, we've got a problem," he said, holding up the fake flower. Elena's face drained of color as she inspected her stall. Half her stock, hundreds of dollars worth, was now worthless plastic. The wedding order was due in hours, and her reputation hung in the balance. Fury and betrayal surged through her, but Jamie was already on the move. He'd seen Marissa head toward the parking lot and sprinted after her, phone in hand, recording. "Hey, you stole my aunt's flowers," he shouted. Marissa whipped around, her eyes wide with panic. "Don't you dare accuse me, you little brat," she hissed, clutching her bag tighter. But Jamie's shouts drew a crowd. Market-goers, vendors, and even a security guard closed in. Marissa's confidence crumbled as she realized she was trapped. The confrontation was electric. Elena arrived, her voice trembling with rage. "How could you do this? Those flowers are my life. She grabbed Marissa's bag and yanked it open, spilling real roses onto the asphalt. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Marissa tried to spin a lie, claiming she'd accidentally mixed up the flowers, but no one bought it. The plastic fakes in Elena's vases were damning evidence. "You thought you could ruin me?" Elena said, her voice rising. "These aren't just flowers, they're my family's legacy." The security guard called the police, and Marissa's bravado vanished. She tried to bolt, but a burly vegetable vendor blocked her path, shaking his head. "Not today, lady." The police arrived to a scene straight out of a drama. Marissa, now red-faced and shrieking, accused everyone of ganging up on her. But the evidence was undeniable. Her bag full of stolen flowers, the plastic fakes in Elena's stall, and Jamie's video capturing her in the act. Officers cuffed her as she wailed, "This is a misunderstanding." The crowd didn't cheer, they stood in stunned silence, watching a woman's greed unravel. Marissa was charged with theft and vendor fraud. Her scam exposed not just to the market but to the entire town, thanks to Jamie's video going viral on social media. The hashtag #FlowerFraudKaren trended for days. Marissa's downfall was as swift as it was brutal. Her online boutique, already struggling, tanked as customers flooded her site with one-star reviews. The shady vendor she'd planned to sell the stolen flowers to ghosted her, and her social media accounts were deleted after relentless trolling. In court, she faced Elena, who spoke with quiet dignity about the pain of seeing her father's legacy defiled. Marissa, stripped of her designer bags and smug demeanor, mumbled an apology, but it rang hollow. She was sentenced to community service and ordered to pay restitution, but the damage to her reputation was permanent. Willow Creek would never forget the woman who tried to trade beauty for greed. Elena, meanwhile, emerged stronger. The market rallied around her, with vendors donating flowers to save the wedding order. Customers flocked to her stall, turning her loss into a triumph. Jamie, the unsung hero, became a local legend, his quick thinking celebrated in a town paper headline, "Teen Thwarts Flower Thief." The ordeal taught Elena to trust her instincts and her community, a bond forged in the face of betrayal. Her stall thrived, each bouquet a reminder that authenticity always outshines deceit. What would you have done if you saw Marissa's scam unfolding? Was Elena's confrontation fierce enough? Or should she have let the police handle it entirely? Share your thoughts. Where do you stand on justice in the face of such a bold betrayal?